Y'all are the MVPs.
Right? Right?
I don't even know what that means. But I know it's supposed to be a good thing. We turn your computer sideways so I can see it better.
You'll have to be able to see it too, huh?
Oh, that's really hanging out on the edge over there.
Yeah, I was just holding on to it so I don't move it or don't lose it.
Your dang coffee's in the way.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know, my computer and my coffee are fighting for space.
It's like your brain cells, right? Your two brain cells are fighting for space.
Right? It's okay, I got a special spot for you, coffee.
Yeah.
In my belly.
Yeah. Good morning, Sue. Amber put us in a cup of coffee on the thumbnail. I told her we need to get a really, really big stump and carve it out to make it look like a coffee cup and then turn it into a hot tub.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I'd chill in a cup of coffee all day.
Yeah. I bet we could get Wiley to chill in there with us.
Right?
In a cup of coffee, with a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sit in a cup of coffee, with a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
How could you have a bad morning?
Hey, Sandy and Suzanne. Hey, Lee. Good morning.
Right? Oh.
Bev, good morning. Lee, did you see that I finally sent you replied to your email? But I sent you my phone number, so...
Well, only been like a month. Oh, Lola.
You can try to text message me, and you might hear from me sooner, but I'm not very much better at checking my text messages than I am at checking my email. Even Wiley gets frustrated with me. He's like, I text you like 20 times. I'm like, well, then call me.
You're like, stop texting and just call.
Try calling me instead. Awesome. 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 Good morning, Victoria from Oregon. Welcome. Gonna try to keep the flies out of my coffee.
Right.
I need to buy stock in those fly sticky traps.
Yes. Yes, we do. That would be a good investment.
Yeah. I don't have any money in the stock market, but if I did, it would be in those sticky fly traps. Whatever company makes those. Coffee tub is cute. That would be so much fun.
It would be. It really would be.
Wonder if coffee's good for your skin.
I don't know.
We could put all of our old coffee grounds in there and then take a bath in it.
Right.
We drink enough coffee.
Right? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
That's absorb our caffeine through our skin instead of through our digestive tract.
Right. Just hook it up IV style. I'm good.
Morning, Mama Vet. We're early. Well, you know, now that Amber has a baby that wakes her up early, and I actually went to bed at a decent time last night, we got up early.
Right. And we've got stuff that we want to do before it gets hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, too warm out there.
Yeah.
So we're going to, do this and then hopefully get up and actually do stuff.
Yeah, after we make breakfast.
Yeah, after food.
Well, lunch, brunch.
Yeah. Yeah, we never have breakfast. We have brunch.
Yeah.
And dinner.
Yeah, we had breakfast the other day.
Yeah, that was strange.
I made Wiley breakfast before he left for work, and so then I brought Amber. She was like, "Wow, this is early to eat." I was like, "Well, I had to cook anyway, so I just made enough for us too."
Yeah, definitely shocked me to see food, before 11 o'clock.
But I didn't make any for the kids because they weren't up yet. And cold eggs just aren't very good.
No, there's certain things you can eat cold, like spaghetti.
I was going to say that, yeah.
But eggs.
Pizza?
Eggs are definitely not one of those things that you want to eat cold.
Morning, Karen. How are you? Y'all definitely keep me on my toes with all 3 channels. Oh my gosh, we're trying so hard. We could do better, but we're not there yet. So
Right. We're trying.
We've actually been focusing more on Amber's channel this week than we have on my channel.
Right, so. But poor Jen, she hops from channel to channel.
I'm usually the one behind the camera on Wiley's channel. I'm helping Amber. And then on our channel, I used to be the person behind the camera while I watched Wiley do stuff. But now that Wiley's working, I actually got to work and operate the camera. It's a lot. And then I still got to stop what I'm doing to make dinner and stay on top of the kids to do their chores. It's a lot. That's why I get overwhelmed. That's why I don't get to reply to emails or text messages. I'm like, I've got enough in this little bubble of mine to worry about. Yeah. Outside forces take a back seat on the daily.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad with how much you have to jump from one thing to another to try to keep everybody going.
I'm blonde. It's already hard enough for me to stay on task, okay?
Right? Oh, the blonde moments.
They make eye cream with caffeine in it. I tried it and can't close my eyes. No, they probably did that because caffeine's supposed to tighten the skin or something. I don't know.
Right?
Good morning. How did your little girl make out at the doctor's visit?
Really good.
I
Perfect.
read that kind of slow because it's still a little bit far away. My eyes are still a little tired.
Perfect checkup. Perfectly healthy. Doctor was happy with her weight gain. So she was born at 5 pounds 10 ounces. We brought her home at 5 pounds 1 ounce. And she has gained, now she is up to 5 pounds 11 ounces. So she has gained back all the weight that she lost. And she's grown 1/4 of an inch, which I swear it's more than that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's more than that.
She's such a sweetheart, though.
Right. And I think all the weight that she gained is literally in her cheeks.
Right. I agree.
Because she's got, some chubby little cheeks going on.
Yeah, she does. I told her the light was coming in just right from this window over here earlier, and I was like, it looks like she's got, like, the bulldog jowls going on. Amber always had a super chubby face when she was growing up, too. I'm surprised that it, like, slimmed out so much, because she had, like, an oval face.
Yeah, I had a very round face as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I was a lot chubbier as a kid than I am as an adult. Like,
you got tall and skinny.
Sometime in my 20s, I, lost all the chub and started thinning out.
Yeah.
It was weird. It wasn't even like my teenage years. It was like after I had kids.
I felt pretty good about myself when I was a teenager. And now I look like a roly-poly.
Roly-poly.
I'm short and round.
Roly-poly wasn't the word that I was going to use, but okay. We'll go with roly-poly.
Was it worse?
No. No, but then I completely forgot what I was going to say when you said roly-poly.
Nice cover. Nice cover. She forgot. When I was a teenager, our mom, the one in this picture right here behind me, she'd get so frustrated with my, like, blondness that she'd threaten me and tell me that she was going to dye my hair brown so I couldn't use it as an excuse anymore.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you had some good blonde moments there when we were younger.
I know. I still have them. And then poor Wiley, I think they're rubbing off on him. Wiley has them every now and then. But then again, he was blonde as a child too, so.
Are you keeping the flies away from the baby?
Now Wiley, he went from blonde to bald.
From blonde to bald.
Yeah. I'm working on the bald part. Someday we might match.
Right? I told Wiley the other day that him and Willow have the same hairstyle.
Yeah. And then Emily or Hunter was like, no, Willow's got more hair than Wiley. Morning, Karen.
Right. Gotta pick on Wiley.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a
just in case
day.
He's over there listening right now.
Right? When, our day needs to be complete, and it can't be until we pick on Wiley a little bit.
Yeah. We know he's going to talk crap back, so that's the fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
Your candle is smoking, and it's making your lampshade turn black.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'll blow it out then.
Yeah. I guess nobody's chatting.
Right? It's still too early. Nobody wants to talk this early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so we've gotten some spot cleared for the trailer. I have a video coming out for that. Well, actually, 2 videos.
But you probably won't see it till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because of the live stream.
Yeah.
Golly. What the heck is going on here? Ah!
Jen's all sorts of popular over here.
I don't know how to, like, make it be quiet. We'll just turn the volume off. There we go. Oh, I got notified that you're live. Hey.
Oh, hey. Well, that's good. I'm live, guys.
Yep. She's alive. Okay, yeah. I don't even know how that started making noise like that. All right. There we go.
All right. Clear everything out.
Yep. I can turn my volume back on now.
Look at these two over here.
I know, aren't they sweet? Lola's pretending to be a heating pad for your back right now.
You two keep picking on poor Wiley and you'll never get that trailer moved.
Right. Hey, good morning, Helen. How are you today? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
See, but if I didn't pick on Wiley, then he'd think that there was something wrong.
Yeah, that's talking crap is our love language.
Right? That's how we show that, we care in this family.
Exactly, yeah. Because if we weren't talking crap, we'd be like, whoa, did I make them mad?
Right? Why are they being...
Does that person not like me anymore? That's really how it goes.
Right? I mean, even with our dad, if he ever stopped talking crap to us, I'd be like, Daddy, what did I do?
Yeah. Our dad's the kind of guy that's like, when we were younger, he'd be like, oh, Dad, my head hurts. And he'd be like, if I had a face like yours, my head would hurt too. Tell him you hurt your finger, and he'd be like, you want me to chop your hand off? And you won't worry about your finger anymore.
Right? I can give you something else to think about.
Misplaced country girl, already working on dinner. LOL. Thanks. I haven't even thought about dinner, but after the live stream, I should probably go pull something out so that I'm not cooking a frozen roast again.
Frozen hunk of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very good at that.
I'm like, oh, hey, 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm like, what are we going to do for dinner?
Oh, yeah, everything's frozen.
Yeah. Yay.
Woo! Oh, gosh.
Someone asked about Willow's appointment again. It went good.
It went good.
She's developing normal.
Mm-hmm.
She's healthy. Happy.
Yep. And the doctor doesn't feel any need to have extra weight checks or anything like that done.
Aww.
So she doesn't have to go back until she's 2 months.
Oh, Lola, you're so sweet.
Mm-hmm. You cuddle with the Willow baby. Willow Fred.
You can put your head on her. That's it.
Right? As long as you don't climb on her.
The rest of you is too fat.
Ooh, slow cooker lasagna. That sounds good.
Dang, internet went down. Grr. Dang, that sucks. Slow cooker lasagna. I think I've only done a lasagna in a slow cooker one time ever. Is Lola Willow's protector? Not usually. Usually she's like my helicopter mom. And then a lot of times Lola will try to jump up on the bed and like not pay attention where the baby is. And we're like, oh, you can't do that. So.
Yeah. So sometimes she gets a little, I don't know, too active. But right now she's just hanging out with Willow.
Morning, Jean.
She's getting more used to, I think, the baby. Like having to look for her and pay attention to where she's at.
You'd think she'd have more motherly instincts. I'm listening, making sloppy joes, putting rubber roof on daughter's trailer so it stops leaking.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's why punctuation is important, because it sounds like you're listening while making sloppy joes in one hand and putting rubber sealant on the roof with your other hand.
Right? Right? It's okay, I do that too. Everything I type out is a run-on sentence.
Yeah. Now that's a picture. I know. Aren't they cute? Dessert is vanilla pudding cake topped with strawberries, blueberries, and whipped cream. Ooh, I bet that's
that
good.
Sounds really good.
Emily made cake the other night. It was a chocolate cake, and she took the caramel, like, ice cream topper stuff. After she made the cake, she poked a bunch of holes in it and then poured the caramel on top and then let that soak in and then put sweetened condensed milk over that and then covered it in Cool Whip. It was so good.
Oh, I'm not judging. I am very happy to know that I'm not the only one that just writes everything in a run-on sentence. I mean, I know my punctuation. I could if I wanted to take the time. But who's got the time for punctuation?
Me, I have time for punctuation. I have time.
And that's why she's always overwhelmed, because she makes time for punctuation.
When I miss it, I delete the sentence and I retype it with punctuation. She's right. That's why I get overwhelmed, because I worry about those things.
I'm old and doing too much at a time. See, that's her problem. She keeps trying to do too much.
Plus,
like punctuation.
Plus, I'm making 2 kinds of breakfast burritos. Oh my.
Wow, you're busy.
Hey, breakfast burritos sound like a good idea for breakfast.
That does sound really good.
Mm-hmm. It's been a really long time since we had breakfast burritos, but we have plenty of eggs.
Right.
And we have a little bit of bacon left. We can fry it up and chop it and throw it in there. And...
Do you have any of the allergy medicine left? Your
Yeah.
allergy medicine? I need one. My eyes are itchy and my throat is all freaking scratchy.
Misplaced Country Girl, are you like meal prepping for the whole week or something? And of course I have garden work. See, you sound like me. I'm like, let me pile all of these things on my plate and then feel like, oh no, now I can't get it all done. I like being busy too, but sometimes I'm an overachiever and have more things to do than time to do it. And then also, you know, it stinks because I'm constantly being interrupted. I'm like, okay, this is going to be my one task. I'm going to focus on this. And then I have to tell Lily to do dishes 10 million times. And I have to remind the boys of the things that I have for them to do. And Michael's really good about being able to give him a task and him doing it. But Hunter, I have to like stay on top of him and hover him and be like, you missed a spot. So, yeah. Oh, today's your son's birthday. Oh, okay. How old's your son? Auntie Emma, you didn't miss anything. We're just chilling.
Commenting
on your old life. Jamie said there's a car show today in Boonville. Live band until 5. Wiley's gonna be mad when he goes to Boonville. He sees it and didn't know about it. He might have known about it. I don't know. Hey, Kathy. Good morning. Everything's good here. But the breakfast burritos I wrap up and store in the fridge. Easy breakfast. See, we don't have a microwave. Well, actually, technically, we do have a microwave, but it takes a lot of power, so we don't use it. So it's not easy to reheat food.
I keep hitting that fly on my screen. If I hit any harder, I'll break something.
Helen said, that reminds me, the mention of bacon reminded me I have some goodies in my freezer to split up and give to my mom. Yum. 28. He is my baby. I keep hitting that fly on my screen. If I hit it harder, I'll break something. Good morning, Joe. Yeah, don't break it, because that's your new phone, right? If you were on our live stream last night on Wiley's channel, then you know what I'm talking about. I like using punctuation, but putting them in the right place is another thing.
Right.
I'm a nerd. So I went to a leadership class, and my one of my instructors had read something that I had wrote, and I don't even remember what it was, but I had to write something for something, and she was so impressed. She even pointed out that she was impressed that I used a semicolon correctly. And it made me feel good. That's how much of a nerd I am.
I used to be really good at like punctuation and stuff when I was writing poetry and you know, like writing short stories and stuff.
Because it matters.
Yeah, but I mean, when I'm just like sending a text, I'm just like one big run-on sentence. Yeah. Good luck knowing how I actually feel in that moment. Wrap in foil and set it in the sun, it'll warm up. Or if you're driving somewhere, you can wrap it in foil and set it on your engine, and it'll be done by the time you get there.
Yeah. Auntie Emma said, today is my son's 31st birthday and his first year wedding anniversary with the best daughter-in-law ever. That is so awesome.
That is so cool.
That is so awesome. Oh, it's there, not here. Yeah, we have a lot of flies here. A lot of flies here.
Yeah, so many flies.
I cook up stuff and bag it up in serving sizes and freeze it so I don't have to cook often. That's a good idea, except we're cooking for a small army. So
someone sent me this amazing tennis racket fly swatter, electric fly swatter thing.
mm-hmm.
It's awesome, but
It only works if the flies go into the light.
Yeah. But yeah, the flies are still just ridiculous.
Lynn said I reheat stuff in the oven because I don't have a microwave and don't want that one either. That's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Same way we do it. Either that or we throw it all in a pot and reheat it on the stove.
Yep.
I don't use microwaves either. That's funny. I was a teacher. I really appreciate when people use correct punctuation and wording. Yes. I wasn't even a teacher. I was just a good student.
Punctuation and spelling confuses me, lol. Yeah. I if I spend too much time thinking about one word, I can't spell it. I mean, and it could be a simple freaking word.
It's like, that doesn't sound right.
That's not right. No.
Yeah. Those are fun. FYI, don't touch the swatter.
Yeah.
I have one.
Don't do that.
I have one a lot like it that I need to turn on.
And
I woke up this morning and my ceiling in my room was covered in flies.
And this one, it has a setting on it that's always live. Like, so you don't have to press the button to make it electrocute you. Like, if it's on just the first one, you gotta press the button here on the back
To make it zap.
But if it's all the way up and that blue light is on, don't touch it.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. It works really good. I think it's funny when a whole bunch of flies land on it and I turn it on.
It scared me. I thought something was short-circuiting because I wasn't expecting it. And I was in here and it started zit, zit, zit. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, but then it smells really bad when the flies get stuck in it and burn to a crisp.
My grandma was a grammar Nazi, LOL. She was a one-room school teacher.
Willow doesn't sleep completely through the night, but she usually only wakes up like once in the middle of the night. And then by the time she wakes up again in the morning to eat, I'm usually already awake. Or just about to wake up anyways.
That's funny. Maria said, when I was at school, I once asked, how do I know where to put a full stop? The teacher said, hold your breath, read the sentence, and when you run out of breath, that's when you put the full stop. See, the difference is between, and school's gotten even more crazy since then, but when we were young, you have to have, like, a predicate, and you have to have, so a sentence, Alan went to the zoo, period. It has to have, like, a subject, and a predicate, and I don't even know all that stuff. I couldn't teach grammar. I mean, I just correct the kids, and I'm like, see, that's a full sentence.
Right? Because it,
But it doesn't make sense, because then every sentence, if you write a paragraph using that, if you write a paragraph doing that, it sounds like a whole bunch of redundancy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's not how you write a letter. Alan went to the zoo. Alan ate a hamburger. Alan shouldn't have to be in every single sentence. You know the story's about Alan, all right? Whoever the heck Alan is.
I'm not sure why there's so many flies. And this thing is pretty much a bug zapper, but, like, the flies aren't really attracted to light or anything. So it's not like they purpose or they'll fly to it to, like moths and stuff like that. But, yeah, they drive me crazy too. And I wish I could come up with a solution to get rid of them. But I have sticky fly trap things, and those are completely full. I gotta replace those. So...
Mama Vet says she's got one. She calls it her bee slapper. That's funny. When we were kids, our grandma would smack us with a fly swatter. Whenever we did something she didn't like, she'd smack it. She wouldn't even say nothing. She'd just whack us with a fly swatter. Remember that? Grandma?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
She was a no-nonsense kind of grandma.
A lot of people use run-on sentences, kind of like what Jen was saying about Alan.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Alan. I agree, Helen.
Give the kids a love tap. That will, or with that fly racket, that will get them moving.
In Oklahoma, I think I might even have a cattle prod. That would really get them moving.
Better than a wooden spoon. Yeah, definitely. That'll definitely, get them going.
Even the old-fashioned, just plastic fly swatters are better than a wooden spoon.
Those things hurt.
And they didn't leave marks. For very long. You might have a red spot on your arm.
Right, but
for a few minutes.
That's just about it.
Yeah. Too early for such bubbly girls. Better than a switch. Oh man.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Our parents didn't use switches.
Yeah.
My dad used a belt.
Right. I remember.
I've heard other people talk about switch.
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
We never got anything that bad.
I wouldn't say a belt is any better than a switch.
Right. Well, I wouldn't know. I've never been hit with a switch.
Me neither.
I'm just thinking that those are smaller pieces of leather.
Yeah. Smaller pieces of wood.
Or wood.
Yeah. You have to. They had to go out and find their own, and it couldn't be smaller than their thumb.
Yeah.
Or something.
I meant yeah.
Yeah.
that's wood, but the leather is like thicker, so a smaller piece would hurt more. I think.
Yeah.
You know. A little more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My dad used to collect cattle prods, and we had no cattle. Now I'm actually wondering what his intentions were. I only had a switch once. I bet it taught you a lesson, huh, Lynn? It's probably why she only had it once.
I used to get hit with whatever my mom had in her hand at the time. Shoe, hairbrush, knitting needle.
Yeah.
Yep.
My old mother-in-law was like that. Michael's grandma, she was very much like that. If she didn't have anything here nearby, she'd take her shoe off and throw it at you.
I was going to say, I remember a couple of times when Mom was yelling at me about something and I'd be walking away and she'd take her Birkenstock off and throw it at me.
Yeah. One time, Michael's aunt made her so mad that she had these, like, porcelain ducks that were decoration, like, knick-knacky things. I remember those ducks learned how to fly that day. I don't remember if they survived or not. Go to the willow tree and pick their switch. They said, pick the longest. Oh, is that the trick? You pick the longest one? I will put you in my memory for next Friday night. That was fun to do last night, even if I missed half of it. Is live definitely going to be 6 p.m. next week. I think we're going to do 7. Patty, 7 p.m. I think we're going to move Wiley's live stream to 7 on Friday nights. Now that he's working, it will work better with his schedule. And as the days get longer, that gives us a couple more hours
to get stuff done outside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now they call it child abuse. They call everything child abuse nowadays.
Yeah, right.
You look at your kid the wrong way and it's somehow child abuse.
Somebody accused me one time of abusing my kids because I didn't let them eat junk food.
Right?
So, there's that.
Yeah.
My dad's hand was worse than anything. Yeah, our dad would get us with his hand, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And those hard-working man calloused hands... It's like freaking being slapped with rough sandpaper.
Yeah, they were a lot stronger 30 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Right? Nowadays it would hurt him more than it would us.
Is it just the light or do I have something on my face over here?
I think it's just the light.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
It looks like I have on camera, it looks like I have like I wiped my mascara into the corner of my face.
Oh, I do see it. Yeah, it's just like, it's got to be just the shadow or something.
Yeah. Weird.
Huh. Freaking camera. My mama said, don't
dispute my word.
I already knew I was getting a whoop. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Time for me to go.
Okay. All right.
Hi, Lola.
You taking Lola with you? She thinks she's going with you.
No, I'm not going. You're not going, Lola.
Did you get it all figured out?
I think.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
Love you too. See you in a little bit.
Hi, everybody.
These two constantly lying to each other like that.
You didn't say hi to Fred.
Hi, Fred.
She's like, hi, Uncle Wiley.
Hi, pretty girl.
Look at me, I'm awake, but my head is heavy.
Would you go take care of Fred for me, Lola?
She had her head on Fred's lap earlier.
Very cute.
Good morning, baby
I
Fred.
think Lola's finally getting used to the baby a little bit more. Not so jealous anymore.
Okay. I'll see you in a little while.
Love you.
Love you too.
Uncle Wiley came and woke you up with the bright light.
I was probably about 13. My grandpa zapped me with a cattle prod. He did it to get me out of the stampede of cattle. Saved my hide. Oh, wow.
He's like, you're not moving fast enough, Zap. My words aren't coming through, Zap. Maybe actions speak louder than words.
Oh.
My mom lava soaped my mouth once. What does that mean?
Yeah,
We were always told that if we didn't watch our mouth, we were gonna chew on a bar of soap.
Yep. I don't ever remember having a bar of soap in my mouth though.
No, me neither.
But I did hear that thread a lot.
I
And
think
let me tell you what, if there was going to be anybody between the two of us that would have had to eat a bar of soap, it would have been me
Yes.
as a kid.
Yes,
Um,
because I was the good one.
Yeah. She was definitely the good one.
And I'm not saying that because
My
it's
mouth and my brain, like, they said whatever they wanted to. No
Yeah.
matter who I was talking to.
She's gotten a little bit better about.
I had absolutely no
Yeah.
filter as a kid, and if I was mad, believe me, I made it perfectly clear. And I wasn't always so nice about it. But I don't actually remember having to eat a bar of soap. But I
Yeah.
probably should have had to at one point.
Morning, Greg. Wiley's gotta go collect his paycheck and get it to the bank and cash it and go get a bale of hay and check the mail, and he gets to do all the running around this morning.
I was going to say, he's going to go run around because we're doing the live.
Yep. You sweet thing, you want your dad? Or would you have preferred I just left you alone in your little bubble that you were in?
Yeah, Kathy, I agree. I should have had to have eaten soap because that was me as a kid. I'd go off on people and I would cuss and all sorts of
Oh, hi.
nonsense.
We're on live. Can you come back later? Love you. Hey, go let the goats out.
They're already out.
Okay, Wiley must have let them out then.
Yeah.
Love you.
Uh,
Lola's down on the floor trying to eat the flies.
See, I'm getting a lot better about my filter. Like, literally, like, it used to be horrible, but I'm getting a lot better. I am now able to filter out a lot of the stuff that I want to say. And then don't.
Helen said she got a bar of ivory one time, but I was giggling the whole time, so Mom never did it again. Used ivory soap in her mouth and wouldn't just make us taste it. It was like rubbed on our teeth. I won't use ivory soap to this day.
Just the smell of ivory soap brings back memories.
Greg said, I'm filter free.
I'm a lot better at filtering on, the internet than I am in life, but
Well, and it helps that when she's editing videos, she can cut out
I can cut out
the
a lot
bad stuff.
of the stuff that I say that I probably shouldn't. Or not everybody would find me as funny as I think I am.
Yeah. You're not hungry, are you?
She might be.
The nothing is coming out of the pacifier.
Will you cover up the camera for me? Or here. I'm going to cover up the camera for a second, guys. I'm still here. I just got to get the baby latched on.
Yeah. And sorry, no free shows on YouTube.
Right? This is no longer the hospital. I now charge admission. It costs. Let me tell you what, Donald Trump couldn't even afford this, okay?
Oh, it's okay. Quit your whining, you little crybaby.
All
right, and we're back. Oh, I almost pulled the camera over.
And poof.
I was trying to be dramatic, and I almost made y'all face plant. This is a family-friendly show, right? Even though everybody's in here is an adult and has, seen their fair share of,
You know. There used to be a time that women didn't have to walk around or cover up to feed their babies, but times have changed.
Yeah, now it's gross to breastfeed.
I know.
How dare you use them for their intended purpose?
Right? How dare I?
Yeah.
Where's that little milk that we have?
Your mom already grabbed it last night.
Yeah, it's on the table over there, I think.
Okay.
Interruptions.
Kids.
Mama Vet said, Amber, when you get much older, I'll come back. Hey, not today. Good morning.
My great niece would say, I like the taste of soap, so you would change your mind.
Goodness, Laura, that's awful. She said a babysitter beat me badly once. My dad never let anyone spank me again. I was bruised from my butt to my knees. I was 3 years old. Oh my goodness gracious.
That is horrible.
Have y'all heard about all the teachers getting arrested around the country for abusing kids and stuff like that? It's just crazy. It's like I know not all teachers are bad, but there's been an abundance of arrests made on teachers for exploiting kids. Like one teacher was selling one of her students basically before and after school, and then other teachers are getting knocked up by students, and yeah.
God. In Europe, they're topless at beaches. Just normal for them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I've heard that. It's much more normal to be able to show your, top half as a woman, I've heard, over there than it is in the States.
I think in Oklahoma over the last couple of years they made a law where women could go topless.
That's funny.
I was like, yay, now we can be equal to guys and not wear a shirt in public.
Right? Except
I really don't care. I'd rather wear a shirt.
yeah, I'd much rather wear a shirt because we have one thing that men don't have: breasts.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys do have breasts.
Yeah.
But ours are way more attractive.
Yeah. I think it was a bunch of guys that made that law that just wanted to see more boobies.
Right?
They're like, ooh, if we pass this law, maybe more women will walk around topless, and then we'll
Get a free show everywhere.
Yeah, then we don't have to pay to go to the club over there and tip them. We just get to walk down the street and get a free show. Yeah. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I'm good. Dad taught us that, people like it when, guys find it more attractive when they have to use their imagination.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't actually want to see everything, or they don't want all their friends to see everything
Right?
either.
Right?
Kathy, I could talk about that all day, but don't get me started because this is not the place. Well, I'll get Amber's channel shut down for misinformation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Gets me when people complain on mom's breastfeeding in public, even though you couldn't see anything. It's the most natural thing you could do ever. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's the only reason we have breasts.
Greg said I walked into more than one tree. I bet that was hilarious.
That would be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, not today. I did see that. And then there was a teacher that was putting like a sleepy time patch on the kids to make them fall asleep and take a nap at school.
Oh.
Like, she was literally, so it might have only been melatonin, which, yes, is, I don't know exactly, but it's melatonin, something our body naturally produces to help us sleep. But the fact that she's basically drugging kids at school without their parents' knowledge, like, it's not like she wrote and said, hey, are you okay if I put this sticker on your kid before nap time? And these kids go home and they're like, oh, yeah, we got a sleepy sticker or whatever they called it. And yeah, that is some BS.
At least breastfeeding is normal. Oh, that's right. We live in a anti-normal world. Depends on what you call men.
It's all ass backwards. I just had a double mastectomy because of cancer. Oh, I tell my kids I'm going to go topless all summer. They're like, Mom, I'm not going anywhere with you. Our grandma had to have a double mastectomy because of breast cancer. And when we were growing up and we were, developing into young woman and started, growing boobs, she would make fun of us. And she's like, I can do something you can't do. And she had like a stuffed bra. And she'd put her bra on backwards and see, I can wear my bra on or I can wear my boobs on my front or my back. She does.
Right? And when I get tired of wearing them, I can just take them off.
Yeah, our grandma had a really good sense of humor. That was not the same grandma that beat us with a fly swatter.
No, that was.
She was a completely different grandma. That was awesome.
Georgia the jungle.
Yeah, Helen. Yeah, I think you know where I stand on that. I think that you either have a weenie or a vagini, and those are the only options, and that clarifies which you are. And whether you have one modified or not is irrelevant. That just throws you in the crazy crowd. Georgia the jungle.
Change the name of your channel to Willow's Pillows.
Yeah. What?
Change the name of your channel to Willow's Pillows.
That's funny. Hi, Myson's mama from Sweden. Welcome. So glad that my kids are all out of school. I'd be homeschooling if they was still in school. Yes. Auntie Emma, that's the exact one of the reasons I homeschool too.
Yeah.
It's one of the big reasons, but it's definitely up there on my homeschooling lists of reasons why to homeschool.
Don't get me started on the wokeness. It drives me mad. Yep.
I didn't get boobs till I was 15 or 16.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was born with them.
Maybe. Yeah. It's just a cosmetic surgery. Yeah, it doesn't actually work. And it requires constant maintenance. Don't get me started on, yeah, Maria, I have a really hard time keeping my mouth shut when it comes to that stuff. Forgotten black sheep. You should save money for a Jackery to run your trailer. She's got a smaller power bank.
Yeah.
Not a Jackery, but yeah.
Yeah, no, what I'm working on saving money for is for my trip to go get the kids for the summer. And then, of course, in August, I'll have to be driving back to bring them back, bring
Amen, Cindy, amen. That, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, if we end up getting together, we're not going to be able to record it. Yeah, it'll be everything we can't talk about on YouTube. Yes, Helen, yes. Yep. We get along fine. I'm reading your mind. Thank you. Thank you. Because there's things that I can't say on here.
My other kids live with their father
For now.
for now.
Or, I mean, yeah, like, it's a shared custody thing. It's
Yeah.
not like,
Yeah, but I
Don't-
mean, like, if they're not here, they're with him.
Yeah.
You know, so
not because we're, like, horrible and
Yeah.
don't have custody or anything like that. It's
no,
because
it's
they're
a
just,
shared.
they're spending time with their other parent.
It's a shared custody thing, and
Mhm.
you know, we've talked to the kids, and it's, you know, I like to give my kids options, and you know, if they want to live with their father, they can live with their father, and I'm not going to let that hurt my feelings. You know, I mean, I talk to them all the time, and but they want to come here for the summer. My daughter loves the school there, my oldest daughter. So she's gonna stay there or she's gonna come out here for the summer, but she wants to go back because I mean she's almost out of school anyways. Um,
She'll be 18 next year.
so and then my oldest son, he's gonna come and move here permanently with me.
As of right now.
Now,
We'll see if it changes.
We'll
But
see if he changes his mind by the end of summer.
yeah.
And then my two youngest boys are gonna be here for the summer and then go back for school. And that's just because that's, you know, what we think is best for them, and it's also what they want. So
Yeah. Over here, we have to be careful on what we say in the UK. Yeah, because you guys have the speech police.
oh,
If you said that the sky is blue, you could go to jail. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. People are literally, the cops are showing up and they're like, we're here to arrest you for something you said online, posts on social media. Literally. It's bad. Yeah.
How could anyone live in California? I don't think anybody actually lives there. They just survive.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, unless you have a shit ton of money, you aren't living there. That's for sure.
Some want to outlaw homeschooling. Yes, they do.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Too bad y'all can't meet halfway, right?
Oh, I wish. I really wish that we could.
Yeah.
But
Their dad doesn't have a car that runs good enough to meet halfway.
yeah.
He might break down, and then we'd have to go rescue him and take him back to California anyway. So
Yeah.
we might as well just go. Plus, we get to see our dad that way.
Right. And the deal was like that if one of us moved out of state, it would be that parent's responsibility to drive to see the kids. I mean, because that's my choice to leave the state. It wasn't, you know. So it's my responsibility to be able to go see them if I want, you know.
So the boys, all the kids that you see on the videos are mine.
Yeah.
Other than this one.
Yeah,
One's
the
hers.
only one of my kids is this one that's here.
Yeah.
But come June, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have more. Oh, there's the fly. It's back.
Yeah. Same, Greg. California is beautiful, and it's sad that it's being taken over. Colorado's the same way. Colorado's also beautiful, but it's couldn't pay me $1 million to live there either. Actually, you pay somebody $1 million to move to Colorado, and they'd probably still end up homeless because $1 million is nothing in Colorado or California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got to make so much money to be able to live in California nowadays. It's ridiculous.
And even if it was only the cost of living, I might consider it because it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But the politics ain't no way. Nope. They just passed a law in Colorado that if you dead name a child or misgender somebody, then it is literal child abuse and they can take your kids away. So dead naming is accidentally calling them by the name you gave them at birth. So like you've been calling this child Kyle for, 15 years, and now he wants to be known as Kylie, and you accidentally call him Kyle, and oops, you lose all your kids because you're a bad parent.
Right.
Like it's.
My two youngest go back to school in I think it's August 14th is the first day of school for them. And then my daughter, her first day of school, I think is sometime towards the end of August, like the last week of August. I can't remember what day, but yeah, high school and like elementary schools, they start at different times. And they get out at, you know, the last day of school. Um, for my youngest boys is actually the last day of May. And then my daughter isn't out of school until June 16th. So
Yeah. Kathy said, I lived in Colorado for a while, but the people are nuts. They're nuts here in Illinois as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you want more common sense, move to a red state. No matter where, but don't go to Texas because it's probably going to be turning blue with all the people that have moved from California to Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas turns blue. No matter where I have moved, I always come back to Tennessee. I cried when I moved to Oklahoma. Couldn't wait to get back to the trees and mountains. Yeah, Oklahoma's so flat. And that's something I notice when we go back now. I'm like, dang, Oklahoma's just so flat. And we don't have like real big mountains. I mean, we're nothing compared to the Appalachian Mountains or the Rocky Mountains or anything like that here in Arkansas. But we get the mountain view without having all of the snow and other things that come with mountains.
Right. Yeah, I am definitely happy that I didn't have to deal with like the snow this year. Like the California snow.
Yeah.
That Sierra cement snow is ridiculous.
Yeah. Bye, Karen. Have a good day. That is awesome that you found a good church family, Cindy.
Right. That's always nice to have.
Victoria said, I have to keep my mouth shut. I'm not in agreement either with what they are teaching. Yeah. Yeah, Victoria, I agree with you. Yep. Go woke, go broke. Yeah, not today. That happens a lot. Do people ski at Mount Magazine? No. I don't think there's ever enough snow on Mount Magazine to go snowing and go skiing.
Right.
We lived outside Houston, and we are so glad to be away from that huge, corrupt blue city. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is, no matter where you live, don't live near a big city. Don't live in or around a big city. Michigan, I call it a purple state. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know which way it'll go, right? There was a law that was just passed, I believe, that now requires proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections, so that's a huge win. Yeah, Greg lives in by Chicago, I think.
No, Jen, don't say that. I'm in Texas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mama Vet.
Are you done?
Do you need me to cover the camera again?
No, I got it.
Okay.
It's just hard to, get it all on.
Yeah, get it all fixed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kathy said, "Oh wow, I'm in St. Charles." I don't know where St. Charles is. Not today. Said I'm from Fort Worth.
It's hot in there.
I lived in Fort Worth for 5 or 6 years when I was younger. I was in my 20s.
You want her?
Yes, yes, I do. Look at that beautiful thing. And her cute little cow outfit.
Little baby moo cow.
She's much happier now. She's in a milk coma. Look at how long and skinny she is.
Right, she has got...
Oh, stretch, baby, stretch. It feels so good.
She has got to be longer than 18 and a half inches.
She just didn't want to lay straight for that nurse.
Right?
It is so not the same. Yeah. It's because everybody's like, oh, I hate the politics of California. Let's move to Texas. And then they go to Texas. And then they're like, why don't you guys run this place like California?
Yeah.
We're starting to get
Governor-
a lot of people from California here, and
Governor
Arkansas,
Gruesome
too.
is definitely on his way out. That's for sure. That is for sure.
well, one thing is he's like maxed out and can't run for re-election anyway. So
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it though if he has no place in like the political party at all in California anymore.
yeah, he's trying to. Pretty sure he's gonna try to run for president in 2028. That ain't gonna go well. I hope.
Oh my god.
Yes, I like Sarah Huckabee Sanders too. I think she's pretty great. I think Willow's going to be tall, probably like her mama.
Yeah, most of my kids, well, all my kids are tall. I mean, some of them are still shorter than me, but it's only because they're, 8 and 5.
Met a lot of people that have moved from California to Tennessee, so everybody's getting that idea. This blue state crap has gotten way out of hand. Let's go to a red state.
Mm-hmm.
But then they want to change the laws. You moved away from that for a reason, people.
Yeah, don't try to go and change.
Yeah, I
places.
think that's what his podcast is all about, which also isn't doing that great. I saw something earlier. I think it was, I don't remember what news station it was on, but it was saying that only 10% of Americans have a very favorable rating of Democrats in Congress. Like, that 10% is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want voter ID? Who doesn't want, gangbangers like out of our communities? Who doesn't want less fentanyl on the streets? Who doesn't want
People that make more
less
money by having them here than if they were gone.
Yeah, right. I saw something, I don't know. I try. So the biggest reason I haven't gotten a lot of videos out since January inauguration days because I've been addicted to Doge. So I was listening to Trump's cabinet meeting the other day, and the Secretary of Labor said that there's 10,000 people who haven't even been born yet who've gotten $69 million in unemployment benefits. And then on top of that, there's thousands and thousands of kids between the ages of 1 and 5 that have been receiving unemployment benefits. That's bonkers. I want to say it was close to, I don't know, it was a lot of money. A lot of money. One person isn't even scheduled to be born for 129 years and got $41,000 from unemployment.
Kentucky has had voter ID for the last 50 years. Or for at
Good.
least 50 years.
Good. Everybody should have voter ID.
Kathy. Democrats. I wish I could say what I think of them, but I'd be banned from YouTube. Doge is the best.
Yes.
I think Trump is great for your country.
Maria,
Yes.
I agree. Then they wonder why we are all in debt. Yeah.
I wonder.
So one of the biggest things is what was I going to say?
Who is Gabby Tulsa?
Tulsi Gabbard. She is I can't remember, Secretary of Defense or something. No, that's Pete Hegseth. I can't remember what role Tulsi Gabbard plays, but yeah. Anyway, hope they aren't all scammers.
Time for more coffee. If I had more coffee this morning, well, my heart might explode.
Same. PJP, I agree that that's why I'm an independent, because I don't subscribe to either party, Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the list of people who've gotten really rich in Congress over the last 50 years, there's a lot on both sides. There is a lot on both sides that are corrupt and have gotten rich off of the backs of taxpayers.
We're politicking.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm sorry.
Sometimes, guys, she gets stuck on these whole politic things, and then I just sit there and kind of go off into my own little wonderland.
And she's like,
where everything turns like cartoon version, and
yeah,
I'm just kind of walking along, singing with the birds in my head.
I don't know. I've never done acid, but I imagine that that's what a good acid trip is like.
Never done acid either. I just have a good,
I've heard of-
imagination.
I've heard of people doing, and they've told me some wild stories.
Uh-huh.
Cindy Lou, absolutely.
McConnell is one of them.
Yeah, Trump is the reason for all of this reform. He can't be bought. Exactly.
So what happens when you have as much money as he does?
Well, and, you know, the fact that he's been attacked for the last several years really broke his give a damn. So we were listening to music while we were working yesterday, and I had forgot about it. There's a country song from the 90s, I think, that is called My Give a Damn's Busted.
I love that song.
Yeah. And I was like, I forgot about this song. I love it.
It's like the only music I listen to is country.
Yeah,
So.
she's like, hang on a second, I want to feel something. And then she's like, oh, still nothing.
Yep, sorry, still nothing.
My give a damn's busted.
Oh, God.
Bye, Laura. See you later. Right. Yes, Judy, yes. You know, discovering all of this fraud and waste and abuse might mean that Social Security disability or Social Security retirement is still available when in 30 years when we can retire.
Yeah.
Because that's been a big complaint of our generation, is that we're paying into this system that we're never going to benefit from.
Yeah, we're never going to see
because the money's
going
to run out, you know? Yeah, not today. I completely agree with you.
Okay, cuteness overload. I want to burp the baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Forgotten black sheep. Yep. It all needs to be cleaned up.
I feed the baby and Auntie burps the baby.
Yeah. I usually get her to poop too.
Mm-hmm. Usually.
I'm voting reform. Nigel Farage, he's friends with Trump. That's probably a good idea. I mean, not necessarily that he's friends, but if he's on the same, you know, protecting free speech and cleaning up abuse and fraud and standing up for the people, that's somebody I would vote for.
Oh, wow. Was that an early 2005 song? I thought it was before that.
No. I'm just so glad that we have a president that really cares for his country. I'm so over our country being used as a piggy bank. I agree, Auntie Emma. Like, we get taxed, you know, at the end of it, by the time you count income tax, tax on groceries, property tax, I mean, we're being taxed at like 50-60%. Whereas before, you know, I don't know the exact years, but pre-World War I or maybe towards the end of World War I or whatever, it was a wartime tax. And you had to vote, and like Congress had to issue you know, they had to declare war, and it was a wartime tax, and so we could fund the war. And then it just became permanent, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And I watch Tuttle Twins with Lily, and if you haven't heard of Tuttle Twins, it's a kids cartoon based on like history and stuff. It's really, really awesome. But they call the government the Leviathan. It's this monster that has grown and grown and grown, and is just like, now we have to worship it because it's so huge. And that's not the way that it should be.
We're being taxed on our taxes. Yeah, we've got the tax, the why the hell not tax, the just because I can tax.
Yeah. In states like New Jersey, you have a clean air tax. You know, so you're literally getting taxed to breathe.
Right? The tax for the, you know, the tax for the $3 that they just taxed you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. A tax. Jen, I agree.
Does Arkansas tax groceries?
Yeah, Auntie said we are being taxed on our tax. Yes. Taxation without representation is definitely theft.
Mm-hmm.
Does Arkansas tax groceries? Yes, right now they do, but I believe our governor signed something later this year. It'll go into effect where there will be no tax on groceries.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd also love to not be taxed on everything that I've already been, bought, but
Yeah, our no tax on groceries helps the people who don't qualify for food stamps the most, because people like us that have to pay cash for groceries, we could save that extra 10% or close to 10% and buy more groceries.
Jersey doesn't tax on anything other than property.
Oh,
That's cool.
oh, maybe I have it wrong. Maybe it's a different state, but there is a state where you have to pay an air tax, a clean air tax. Massachusetts, you're taxed for everything.
Oh, wow.
Oklahoma just stopped the grocery tax last year or the year before that. No, I believe it was last year that they stopped taxing groceries.
My friend bought a brand new Corvette a year ago, and it was literally delivered to his house in California. He had to take it in to be tested about 5 times before it finally passed EPA regulations.
And then when they had
I'm surprised they even let it, be sent to California.
Yeah, and then when they had all of the wildfires in Southern California, there was fire trucks and stuff coming from out of state, and they wouldn't let them help fight the fires because they didn't have a California tag on them, or because they didn't meet the
California
standards.
regulations.
Yeah, the regulations. Nope, sorry, you can't help us put out this fire that's literally
gonna just
burning down our state because you don't have this sticker.
Yeah.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like the smoke wasn't polluting the air more than that fire truck would. It's stupid. Personal property tax on vehicles is dumb. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think freaking everything that you I hate that you go out, you spend the money to buy something.
Mm-hmm.
You work your ass off to pay for it.
I can understand.
Just have to pay for it for the rest of your life.
Right. I can understand paying like a registration fee.
Yeah.
Because that goes towards road maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use the roads, then you should, contribute to maintaining them.
Right. I mean, and I understand, you need to register your vehicle with the state. So if that car is ever stolen or involved in an accident, it's easier to figure it out.
I mean, I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah, so I understand that.
I don't get having to pay tax on it every single year.
Yeah.
Or property tax, owning property. Why do you have to pay tax on something you already bought?
Yeah.
And paid for. And
I've already paid out the butt for this. Why am I still paying every year for?
Yeah.
They should tax lotto tickets.
Bye. It's not really a political channel, but sometimes we talk about, stuff. So, bye. Arkansas has big taxes. They tax on everything you own yearly. Yeah, that's we haven't really had to experience that yet, unfortunately. I remember the California emissions cost. Government borrowed money from Social Security years ago. Very possible. I won't say anything about that because I don't know anything about that. Tax for it at the DMV is fine. Yeah. They should tax lotto tickets. I'm sure that they tax it really, really big if you win. Texas has no income taxes. We only get taxed on property. I didn't know that.
Yeah, California didn't have water to fight all those fires. Mm-hmm. That was ridiculous. There's freaking a lake up by where we live that, I mean, they release water out of it every year, so it gets, fairly low. Yeah. But, I mean, Rollins Lake was empty pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was basically empty.
Oh, dang.
With all those fires, I'm like, holy cow. I couldn't believe it. But, alright, we should probably get off of here and get some things going, like food.
Yep.
So then we can get started on outside stuff. This is how we always end up, starting so late in the day.
Right, yeah, and if you don't pay taxes on something you already bought, then they seize it. That doesn't make sense at all.
Right?
But yeah, we should go make something to eat.
Yeah, definitely.
Before Hunter gets up and eats the rest of the bacon.
Oh, Kick that kid's butt.
He'll eat a whole pound of bacon to himself, which isn't hard to do, but still.
I was gonna say I could definitely eat a whole pound of bacon to myself.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that homes on the beach burn to the ground for lack of water. That is so crazy. Salt puts fires out, and so does water. Why couldn't they have used the
Right.
salt water out of the ocean?
Right. I remember, starting some oil fires when I was a kid and having to dump like a whole container of salt on it. It
Mhm.
worked.
Yeah.
All right. You guys all have a great day, though. We're going to get off of here, hopefully get our day started. Or at least food started. Something in that direction. So, hope you guys all have a good day. I'm going to
Bye.
try not to go crazy with all these flies.
We need to open that door. It's getting hot in here.